Welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Chloé. Today we will be talking about budgets, how to create budgets, how to stick to budgets. I have 5 tips for you guys today, so let's get right into it.
But nothing in this world that I like more than checks. Money. What I really want to see is the money. I don't really need.
Now, sometimes when people hear the word budget, they get nervous or shy and they think they have to be super strict and they can't spend any money on themselves, and that's not true. So hopefully with my 5 tips today, you will see how easily you can create your budget. Make sure you stay till the end of the video today because I will be giving you guys my budget template for free. If you like it, I would love for you to use it. So stick out till the end of the video. But let's get into these 5 tips. So tip number 1. Find your style. There are so many different ways you can create a budget. It doesn't have to be any one particular way. It doesn't have to be a way that you see online or your friend or family member uses. It's about what you want to use, what works best for you. So whether that's Microsoft Excel, Google Sheets, writing in your notepad, in your phone, pen and paper, anything that works for you that is your style, a format that you understand and that you want to use will be helpful for creating your budget. So for my budgets, I use Microsoft Excel, and in that template, I have a few different colors for different sections. And if you see my template and you're like, oh, I love this template, but I hate the colors, change the colors. Finding your style is creating the budget that you want to see, that you want to pick up, like, ooh, this is my budget. I created this. Anything that's gonna draw you to the budget, that's what you want to use for your budget. Within finding your style, you also want to figure out what type of plan you want to use for your budget, whether that's the 50-30-20 rule, or if you're going to do the 80-20 rule, I heard that, or if you know you want to save a certain percentage of money. This is the time you would want to figure out what plan or what path that you're going to choose for your budgets. And don't worry, you could always change this as well. If you're comfortable with it and you like it, you'll more than likely use it, and that's what we want. So make sure it is for you. All right. So tip number 2, understanding your spending habits. It is very important to look back to see how you were spending your money before you started budgeting. That way you could have a base number of what you need to work with, or how you are even spending money on groceries. Because if you budget, let's say $250 a month for groceries, but for the past 3 months you've been spending about $400 a month on groceries, that budget's not gonna work and you probably will break it. So it's good to look back and see, okay, maybe I was spending $400 each month on groceries. That's good to know, but maybe I could bring that down to $350 or however you want to work it. Or maybe if 400 is the number that you really need, good, you could work that into your budget. And that way you're not running out of money come time the end of the month when you thought $250 was going to be suffice when you really needed $400. So understand your spending habits, and for your spending habits, that could be groceries, gas, clothes, shopping. It could be going out, social life. All these things could be a part of your spending habits that you really want to look at the historical data. So if you have to go through your banking statements for a little bit or your credit card statements, just see how you are spending your money, and that will help guide you towards creating your budget. All right, we are at tip number 3. And tip number 3 is be realistic. So you want to make sure that you're not cheating yourself out of your own budget. Don't look at other people's budgets and say, oh, they're doing this, I need to start working that into my budget, because maybe that doesn't work for you. You have to be honest with yourself and know what your limits are and what you can and can't do. Always be honest with the amount of money you're working with. So for me, I get paid 2 times a month, but I'm hourly, so each time I get paid, the paycheck can be a little bit different. So what I started doing is I just make a budget for each paycheck. That way I'm working with the exact number. Be honest and be realistic when you're creating your budgets, and you will thank yourself for it. Tip number 4 is be consistent. So you can't make a budget one time and expect all your finances to be fixed in that one budget, because they won't happen. Creating a budget, you have to constantly stick to it, whether if you decided you were going to make one monthly or if you wanted to do it for each time you get paid. So if you're paid bi-weekly, if you're paid semi-monthly, if you're making a budget for each paycheck, you have to stick with. The longer you stick with it, it's going to become an automatic habit, and you'll just know, oh, I got paid today. Let me create my budget. I know each time I get paid, I'm like, okay, payday. It's also time to work on my finances. It's just a mindset I've gotten over the years. I've been budgeting for several years now, and this is just something that's automatic for me. I know I need a budget. I just do it, and it's a good process because then I know how much money I'm saving for that time period. I know what money I have to spend on whatever I have listed within my budget. It's just great to stay consistent, because once you stay consistent, you will see the results of your hard work from creating these budgets. And the last tip, and this is one of my favorite things about budgeting, adding a personal allowance. So for everyone who says when you have a budget, you have to stick to it so strictly and you can't spend any money on yourself, you have to be super frugal. No, I would like you to know that you could give yourself a personal allowance within your budget. This tip was a game changer for me. I had read about it in a budgeting book, and once I started implementing this into my budget, I never broke a budget again. It's a normal thing to want to spend money, and that's okay because you will have it within your budget. So what I usually do is, after I have my bills, and I call them irregular expenses like gas, or if it's somebody's birthday and I'm buying a birthday present, or if it's a holiday, whatever it is, after all my expenses and then my savings, I see what money I have left and I utilize some of that money for a personal allowance. If I set $100 for that paycheck to go towards my personal allowance, I can spend that $100 on anything that I want. Anything. And once I started using this method, my budgets were just so easy. I felt like budgets were fun and easy. Like I could spend whatever I wanted with that money. Adding a personal allowance just makes you feel more confident within your budget, because it's going to be cool to see like you're spending money on your bills, on your other expenses. You're putting money towards your savings, and probably more money than you realized you could save now that you're budgeting. But you also get this free spending money. It's like, yes, you're working hard, and yes, you have play money too. So a personal allowance is just a great thing that you should implement into your budget if you haven't already. If you're still here, thank you for watching all these great tips. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I have a free budget template for you. So I'm going to put that on the screen now if you want to screenshot it. Now, if you see my template and you love it and you want it for yourself and you don't want to have to recreate the whole thing, you could also email me. I'll put my email on the screen. And once you send me an email saying you want the template, so you could have that Microsoft Excel template, or if you want to transfer it over into Google Sheets, either one will work. And you could have this template for free for you. I think financial information and tools should be accessible to everyone. So creating a budget is one way for you to take control of your personal finance journey. And I hope this video was very helpful for you. Let me know which tip was your favorite. If you budgeted before and it didn't work out, but you're gonna try it out again. If you currently budget, let me know if you've heard of the personal allowance tip before too. Make sure to drop some comments down in the comment section below, and let's continue to talk about our budgets. Now, once you create your budget, you might realize that you're not saving as much money as you wish you could. Don't worry, I have another video coming out soon on ways for you to save money and cut back on other costs. So be on the lookout for that savings video, and I will see you guys at my next video. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. See you.